Are you in love with an avoidant girl who clearly has feelings for you but always keeps her distance? Dating an avoidant person can be exhausting, but it's not impossible. But wait, don't give up just yet. In this video, I'm going to show you 7 steps to turn a shaky relationship into a stable love that leads to marriage. Step number 4 is the crucial key that you can't afford to miss. If you want to know how to get her to commit willingly without using anything but understanding and love, watch this video to the end. I'm Jim Rohn, a relationship expert, and if you want more tips to help you build a stable relationship, hit subscribe right now. Now let's get started with the first step, identifying the type of avoider. Step 1. Understand her avoidance style. Not everyone avoids for the same reason. There are 2 main types, ethical avoiders and manipulative avoiders. Ethical avoiders are honest, responsible, and live by principles. They may be reserved about opening up, but if you're patient and sincere, they'll gradually accept your presence. On the other hand, manipulative avoiders use distance as a tool of control, pushing you into a state of doubt and insecurity. If you feel like you're always chasing without ever getting certainty in return, you're probably dealing with someone who doesn't really want to commit. Understanding her type of avoidance is the crucial first step to knowing how to approach and maintain the relationship in a healthy way. According to Dr. John Bowlby's research on attachment theory, people with an avoidant attachment style often experienced insecurity in their childhood. They learn to protect themselves by not depending on anyone else, thus developing a habit of keeping their distance in adult relationships. If you're in love with an avoider, it's important to distinguish between avoidance that stems from a fear of being hurt and avoidance that is manipulative. An ethical avoider may be willing to build trust if they feel safe, while a manipulative person may only take advantage of you to control without any intention of truly committing. Clear signs can help you distinguish between these 2 types of avoidance. Ethical avoiders are often uncomfortable with intimacy too quickly, but still show concern in their own way, such as always remembering little things about you even if they don't say, "I love you," too often. Meanwhile, manipulative avoiders tend to make you feel like you're always the one at fault. When you try to get close, they withdraw. When you back off, they come back in an unclear way, creating a stressful emotional loop. To approach it the right way, if she's the ethical avoider type, be patient and create a safe environment where she can open up. Show that you're always there, but don't force her to change immediately. If she's the manipulative type, reassess the relationship. You can't change someone who doesn't want to commit, and sometimes it's best to protect yourself from unnecessary hurt. The first step to being able to marry someone with an avoidant tendency is to clearly understand their type of avoidance. A healthy relationship cannot be built on ambiguity and doubt. When you have a clear understanding of the other person's motivations and behaviors, you'll be able to make an informed decision about whether this is a relationship worth investing in. Be honest with yourself. What type is the person you love? This answer is very important because it will determine your approach in the next steps. Keep exploring. Step 2. Replace love with respect. With people who have an avoidant tendency in love, respect is more important than the usual romantic expressions. They are not attracted to eternal promises or warm, sweet gestures, but instead they need to feel recognized, to be seen correctly with the values and principles they cherish. If you want to build a solid relationship with an avoidant person, start by showing sincere admiration for what they consider important. According to Dr. Deborah Tannen's research, avoidant people often feel pressured when caught up in intense emotions, but they respond positively when they receive respect from the other person. Instead of trying to express love directly, focus on respecting the way they think and act. This can start from small but meaningful things, listening to their point of view sincerely without judgment, acknowledging their independence without trying to control, and letting them freely make decisions without imposing expectations. An important factor in showing respect is personal space. Avoidant people often need alone time to process emotions and thoughts. If they want to have distance, don't rush to interpret it as a sign of distance or a rift. On the contrary, see it as a natural part of how they maintain internal balance. Your respect for this space will help them feel safer in the relationship and reduce the fear of being bound. In addition, instead of expressing love with repeated words like, "I love you," or "You are everything to me," express it with actions. A compliment about their persistence at work, an encouragement when they face challenges, or simply trusting their decisions. All of these carry much more weight for an avoidant person. For example, "You have a very special and insightful perspective. I always learn something new from you." They will feel valued without being pressured to respond to overly high emotional expectations. Avoidant people may not react positively to traditional expressions of love, but they are extremely sensitive to respect. If you want to build a truly solid relationship with them, start by respecting their boundaries, values, and lifestyle. When respect becomes the foundation, they will gradually feel more comfortable to open up and connect emotionally more naturally. The next step will help you better understand how to maintain connection without making them feel bound. Tonight, try giving a compliment as instructed. Observe her reaction and comment under the video to share your experience. Step 3. Build an emotionally safe environment. People who tend to avoid relationships often do not easily open up, especially when they do not feel emotionally safe. Before expecting them to connect more deeply, you need to create a space where they do not feel pressured or criticized. A safe environment is not just about respecting personal space, but more importantly, how you respond to their emotional expressions. Let them share freely at their own pace, instead of setting expectations or urging them to express immediately. According to Dr. Sue Johnson, a leading expert in marriage and family therapy, people who tend to avoid often react negatively when they feel pushed or criticized. Instead of demanding them to change immediately, build trust with small but consistent actions, listening without judgment, valuing care without demanding too much. When they start to see you as a reliable fulcrum, the bond will gradually form naturally. In addition, patience and stability are also important factors. Be mentally prepared that they may have moments of distance, but instead of reacting negatively, prove that you are always there, ready to support without putting a burden on them. When they see that you are not only a companion but also a safe fulcrum, they will gradually become less wary and can begin to open up more. But this is just one step in the process. What happens when they start to trust but have not completely overcome their fear? Keep learning about the next steps to help them overcome this barrier. Step 4. Communicate gently but clearly. People with an avoidant tendency often feel suffocated when faced with conversations that are too emotional or require deep intimacy. Therefore, instead of creating pressure, communicate gently but still clearly and sincerely. When sharing emotions, avoid a blaming or pressuring tone. For example, instead of saying, "Why don't you ever tell me about your feelings?" try a more neutral approach. "I really appreciate the times you share your thoughts with me." According to Dr. Marshall Rosenberg, the nonviolent communication (NVC) method significantly improves the quality of dialogue, especially with those who have an avoidant tendency. One of the important principles of NVC is to listen without judgment or imposition. When she expresses emotions, don't rush to find ways to fix or offer solutions. Sometimes, what she needs is just understanding and recognition. "I understand that this is really important to you." Such a simple sentence can create a stronger connection than any advice. In addition, respect her communication pace. Avoidant people often need more time to process emotions before they can share comfortably. If she is silent or avoids answering immediately, don't assume she doesn't care. Be patient, give her space to respond in the most natural way. When she feels safe and not rushed, she will gradually open up more over time. Communicating with an avoidant person is not about trying to change them right away, but creating an environment where they feel safe enough to change in their own way. And when you do that, what will happen next? The answer may surprise you. Step 5. Adjust goals together. A long-term relationship is not only based on momentary emotions, but also needs harmony in values and goals. With a person who has an avoidant tendency, long-term commitment may seem like a cage rather than a meaningful choice. If she feels that marriage is pressure instead of a natural part of the common journey, the reluctance will grow. Instead of trying to convince her that marriage is inevitable, let's explore together what the two really want in the future. According to Dr. Stam Tatkin, happy couples often have a shared vision of life. This does not mean that both have to be exactly the same in everything, but there needs to be compatibility in core values, career, finance, lifestyle, and family views. You can ask questions like, how do you imagine your life in the next 5-10 years? Or, what makes you feel safe and happy in a relationship? Most importantly, make sure that commitment does not make her feel lost or independence, but instead brings stability and support. When she realizes that a serious relationship does not mean losing herself, but is a journey that helps both grow, she will be more open to the idea of going further with you. That is step number 5. Please practice it. We continue. Step 6. Emphasize the benefits of marriage. People with an avoidant tendency often see marriage as a bond instead of an opportunity to grow and develop. To change this perspective, help her see the practical benefits that a committed relationship can bring. Research has shown that marriage can improve physical health, reduce stress, and bring financial stability. More importantly, it also creates a solid mental support system, helping both overcome challenges in life. Instead of emphasizing responsibility, focus on positive values. Peace of mind when having a reliable companion, feeling understood and shared, as well as the opportunity to grow together. When there is a sustainable relationship, she not only has more motivation in her career, but also has space to explore and perfect herself. Let's try to imagine the future of a life that both builds, support, and promote each other to achieve common goals. When she sees the practical and long-term benefits of marriage, the decision to stick together will no longer be pressure, but become a meaningful and anticipated choice. This is really worth looking forward to, right? Let's go to the final step in this journey. Step 7. Create a commitment checklist. With a person who has an avoidant tendency, having a clear plan before proceeding to marriage can help them feel safer. Let's make a list of important milestones to complete together, such as stabilizing finances, resolving important disagreements, or defining responsibilities in marriage. This not only helps you and her have a more realistic view of the relationship, but also eliminates the feeling of ambiguity that can cause stress. In addition, discuss the common values that both need to maintain to sustain a sustainable marriage. It is important to show her that commitment does not mean losing freedom, but is a collaboration between two people to move towards a solid future. When everything becomes clear, she will feel less pressure and easily move to marriage with more confidence. This is the final step of the journey to bring her home. Please practice it seriously if you really want her. During the process of conquering her, if there is a strange reaction from her, please come back here. We find a solution together. The journey to build a sustainable relationship with a person who has an avoidant tendency is not easy. But if you are patient, understanding, and apply it correctly, your love can completely bloom. Marriage is not the final destination, but the beginning of a new journey, a journey of companionship, growth, and sharing. Thank you for watching to the end of this video. If you find the content useful, don't forget to leave feedback so we can improve the quality further. And if you have a personal story about the journey to conquer a lover with an avoidant tendency, please share in the comments. Maybe your story can inspire others. I wish you always steady on your love path.